15 million members, empowered to learn, to create, to grow, to harvest, to lead, to dream. Equity. Karibu member.
Very good evening to you. Welcome to KBC Channel 1. This is Easy Friday. My name is Shiksha, Arora, and of course we'll be taking you through the top stories tonight. Remember, there's a lot happening, especially when it comes to politics. Plus, we've also got Spotlight later on. We'll be speaking to ace content creator. His name is Kimanzi. That's also going to be coming up later on during this show. But not forgetting, we've also got sports as well as business news. So make sure you stay right here until the end of the bulletin. The hashtag is Easy Friday. Find us on social media at Shiksha Arora, at KBC Channel 1. And do let us know where you're watching from. For now, though, it's time for the highlights. Top on Easy Friday. Nairobi Senator Johnson Sakaja denies involvement in fraud. Umoja Summit presidential hopeful Walter Mungare at pains to explain how he got a degree in 7 months. And former Finance Minister Chris Obure and former Transport PS Sami Kyungu are acquitted of the 920 billion shilling Anglo leasing corruption scandal. All right, tonight's top story. The National Police Service has dismissed as propaganda claims that the embattled United Democratic Alliance Nairobi's gubernatorial aspirant Johnson Sakaja has been arrested. Now, in a statement, the police says Sakaja presented himself at the Directorate of Criminal Investigations headquarters, that is along Kiambu Road, and he was cordially received by officers and turned away since he had not been summoned. Take a look. After leaving the DCI headquarters, Sakaja sensationally claimed that he was advised to drop his gubernatorial bid if he wants the degree matter to put to rest. The Nairobi senator, who is fighting for the authenticity of the degree certificate in court, claimed he will not be cowed and was firmly in the city's gubernatorial race to the end.
He said he's investigating me for serious crimes, I think of an international scale, that they're looking for me. And we've come to ask, what are we being looked for? I am the senator for Nairobi. I have been the chair of the security committee. I am easily available, easy to find. The attempts are to paint me as a criminal or a fugitive so that they can install their project in this county of Nairobi. For now, I want to assure my supporters, I've seen a lot of worried calls and messages. I want to assure them to stay calm. We believe in siasa safi. We believe in politics of issues, not individuals. and we'll continue selling our agenda of a city of order and dignity, hope and opportunities for all the people of Nairobi City County.
Now, Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition Party presidential candidate Raila Odinga has come to the defense of Keroche Breweries Limited in their ongoing standoff with the Kenya Revenue Authority. Raila says there is a need for tax-friendly laws that gives investors ample time to file their returns instead of closing down their businesses.
Fire! Vijana fire! Vijana fire! Vijana fire! Vijana fire!
Raila Odinga and the Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition took their campaigns to Murang'a County on Friday, urging voters there to back their bid for State House. Raila Odinga and his running mate Martha Karua began the day in Thika, where Raila made a case for Keroche Breweries and the need to enact investor-friendly laws.
If you close a business, you're not only killing the investor, you're also killing the employees. Let Keroche go. Don't kill Keroche. Mwambie kama huwezi kulipa leo, lipa kesho.
Odinga said if elected, he would influence the revival of collapsed industries.
Our government need to create an enabling environment for the private sector to thrive.
Kura itakuwa ni ya ukombozi wa kiuchumi kwa kila Mkenya.
Odinga also pledged to boost farmers' productivity through reduced farming costs.
Tutaendelea kufanya ile reforms ili wakulima waweze kupata haki yao kulingana na jasho yao. Kupunguza gharama ya kilimo, mbolea kwa bei ya chini na kadhalika na soko.
The Azimio caravan snaked its way into Murang'a County, addressing various stops where they outlined their plans to ensure a strong social protection program.
Wale jamii ambao ni hai hawende, tunaleta mpango inaitwa social protection program.
Leaders accompanying Odinga urged residents to rally behind Azimio, noting that the coalition was the best bet in improving the economy of the region.
Tunatengeneza kitu inaitwa Arora. Kwa hivyo ukiona umaskini,
tunapatia Baba Raila Amolo kura sababu ametupatia Martha. Mtatuangusha.
Kienda mbele, Kenya iende mbele, tutengeneze uchumi, tutengeneze kilimo, watu wetu wawe na kazi na pesa kwa mfuko.
Tutafanya kweli kweli, kwani sisi hatucheki au kucheza na kazi.
The Azimio One Kenya Brigade is back at the vote-rich Mount Kenya region, and this time they are in Murang'a County. Here, Raila promising to continue with the agriculture reforms, not to mention his Baba Care. Reporting from Gatura town in Murang'a County, I'm Ben Troy Njue.
Moving on, the Kenya Kwanza Brigade, led by Deputy President William Ruto, has pledged to revive the economy if they win the August 9th general election. Speaking after making several step-overs in Bungoma and Kakamega, Ruto said Kenya Kwanza has solutions to the ailing economy.
The Kenya Kwanza troops took their campaigns to Western Kenya to woo supporters, making several stopovers in Bungoma and Kakamega counties. Deputy President William Ruto said fostering unity and enhancing the economy remains the coalition's core agenda that is hinged on the bottom-up economic model.
I am telling the people of Kenya, this year we will sort ourselves out and we will vote for a government that is going to think about every citizen of the Republic of Kenya.
The DP urged the electorate not to be lured into supporting their opponents, saying his track record in the region puts him ahead.
Si kila mtu anapimwa na ile kazi amefanya. Hii Kakamega, si ndio? Wacha tuache ile mingi ya Kenya. Hii Kakamega, mimi nikiwa deputy president, tumeweka equipment ya milioni 800 kwa hospitali yenu hapa. Iko ICU, iko radiology, iko renal unit. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Sitima mulikuwa na watu 30,000. Saa hii tumefikisha watu 1,140. Ni kweli ama si kweli? Mulikuwa na college 3, ingine 6 tumejenga hapa Kakamega. Ni kweli ama si kweli?
Leaders from the alliance lauded the signing of an agreement with the coalition to revive Mumias Sugar Company.
Ikiwa sisi tumekuja pamoja kwa sababu hatutaki utapeli, hatutaki watu wa kutusumbua, tunasema mtuunge mkono, because what we have decided is good for the country. We have decided in our coalition document that Mumias must be revived.
Tumezungumza, tumekubaliana na ndugu yetu William Ruto, na tumesema sio masilahi ya Musalia wala ya Weta, ni masilahi ya vijana wetu. Ndivyo tumewaambia. Tumeweka mkataba ya 30%.
Wangapi wanasema ni UDA?
In Kiambu, Kenya Kwanza presidential running mate Rigathi Gachagua drummed up support for Ruto's presidential bid.
Police officers are people who are learned. They are people who have gone to school. They cannot be incited by anybody. They know what they want and they know the kind of government that they want to be in charge of this country.
Mimi nafurahi hata zaidi ya hivyo, kwa vile sasa tumeungana pamoja na serikali ambayo sasa inaweza kuangazia shida zetu.
Tuwaambie wale walisema William Ruto hatakuwa kwa ballot. Tuliwaambia juzi, William Ruto he's not just on the ballot paper. We shall mark that ballot paper William Samoei Ruto's name together with Rigathi Gachagua, and on the 9th of August they be ready for a William Ruto government.
All right, now Umoja Summit presidential aspirant Walter Mongare Elias Nyambani was on Friday morning at pains to explain how he completed a degree course within 7 months. Appearing before the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission's Dispute Resolution Committee, Nyambani, through his lawyers, told the committee that the questions on his transcripts showing he finished his degree within 7 months should be answered by the university. The committee has also dismissed an application filed by Jimmy Wanjigi seeking to cross-examine IEBC Chair Wafula Chebukati.
Walter Mongare Nyambani of Umoja Summit Party found himself between a rock and a hard place when he was tasked to explain how he finished his degree course within 7 months.
Your client was a student in Daystar for 7 months. Is that correct?
No, from the records, the 7
Some people have been acquitted of the 920 million shillings Anglo leasing scandal. Anti-corruption Chief Magistrate Anne Mwangi, while releasing the two, including former Finance Secretary Samuel Bundotich, said the prosecution had failed to prove its case against the 3 former government officials in relation to this scandal.
It's a sign of relief for former Finance Minister Christopher Obure, former PS Transport and Communications Sami Chungu, and former Finance Secretary Samuel Bundotich. The 3 were on Friday morning acquitted of the 928 million Anglo leasing scandal.
I find that the prosecution has failed to prove all the charges against accused 2, 3, and 4 beyond reasonable doubt. They are consequently acquitted. in all the charges under Section 215 of the Criminal Procedure Code.
Limani Anti-Corruption Chief Magistrate and Mwangi, while setting the three free, said that the prosecution failed to prove its case against the three former government officials, ruling that the three never benefited from the 928 million scandal.
From the evidence on record, it is clear that the accused persons herein, though persons employed in the public service, did not commit the offence of abuse of office and or breach of public trust as alleged, even though the prosecution has established that each accused person herein played a role towards the implementation of the project in question. Each accused person has demonstrated that he acted in good faith, exercised due diligence, and did not act arbitrarily in his respective role towards the implementation of the project.
The three were charged with abuse of office and breaching public trust, among other offences, 7 years ago. Linchalo for Prime Edition.
Right, of course, and with that, it's time for us to take our first commercial break, but don't go too far. We'll be back in just a moment.
Mwaka mpya, Krismasi. Nataka vijana Krismasi kidogo na kina mama kidogo. Sio? Kwenye nchi. Yenu yenu. Ndio sasa. Wengine ni wageni.
Every day, over 15 million members are transforming Africa. million members empowered to learn, to create, to grow, to harvest, to lead, to dream. Equity. Karibu member.
Who was that?
It was Mama Jen. Anasema ati Jackie yako huko.
What is she doing there?
Naenda pikia baba Felix.
Well, you seem to have everything figured out around here.
Azindo akianza tu kugombana hivyo, which side do you take?
Honestly, I don't take sides.
How?
Family is busy attacking and you're doing nothing about it.
And stop fighting them back.
Pete, I'm serious about you marrying again.
Utakanifanya nini na bibi wa pili Jackie?
Na unasema atakuwa bibi wa pili? Eh, brother. Ni mrembo kweli, si ndio?
Yeah, ni mrembo.
Has she forgotten her suitcase?
I know that I'm never enough for you. Am I?
Please stay.
Welcome back to Easy Friday. The sign language interpreter for tonight has been Byron Abule. Now, taking a look at what else is happening on our bulletin tonight, hundreds of members of the Maasai community have staged a protest along the Namanga border post in what they claim to be solidarity with their kin who were evicted from the Ngorongoro in Tanzania. Now, the group claiming the manner in which their counterparts in Tanzania were evicted was inhumane and deserved to be condemned by the international community. The protesters barricaded the Namanga-Nairobi highway, disrupting traffic flow, forcing police to move in and disperse them.
Tunataka kukanusha kwamba si sawa kusema kwamba watu hawajauawa na ili hali watu wameuawa, wengine wakaumizwa. Kuna taharuki kubwa sana, na jambo ambalo limetufanya leo kuja kuzungumza na waandishi wa habari ni ili tuombe na tutoe makataa kama viongozi kwamba usalama wa wale watu wa Ngorongoro ni ya muhimu mbele ya Tanzania, mbele ya dunia nzima, mbele ya Kenya na vile vile mbele za Mungu.
Lakini kama hakuna kiangazi, hakuna haki na sio haki kuwatoa Wamaasai mahali ambao wanaishi. Kwa hivyo tumekataa hayo na tunasema kwamba
nataka kuomba Rais Samia Suluhu, tumekuja kama wamama, tumekuja kama viongozi wa kanisa, tunakuomba kwa unyenyekevu ya kwamba tafadhali kuna njia za kusuluhisha matatizo. Kuna kitu inaitwa alternative dispute resolution.
Meanwhile, Chief of Defense Forces General Robert Kibochi has challenged servicemen and women to uphold the highest levels of discipline to protect the integrity of the military. Kibochi, who presided over the passing out parade of 178 specialists and special duty officers in Lanet, said the military must at all times be guided by professionalism and service.
A colorful parade after months of foundational training in military. A new cohort of servicemen and women take an oath to serve.
And the Republic of Kenya. As an officer of the Kenya Defence Forces.
At hand are family members to share in the moment. Chief of Defense Forces General Robert Kibochi reminds the graduates that the work ahead demands integrity and professionalism, tenets of a true soldier.
I urge you to make professionalism and service your brand, founded on the values acquired. These are the desirable qualities geared towards inducting you into a military career and a life of service to your country.
The officers before you have completed their foundational military officer training, which was aimed at converting them from civilians in various professions to specialist officers in the Kenya Defence Forces.
Kibochi called on the officers to uphold a continuous culture of learning so as to remain relevant even as they serve the nation.
There is need, however, to cultivate and maintain an enduring quest for knowledge that will enable you to remain relevant in your service to KDF, our country, and beyond.
The ceremony in Lanet saw the commissioning of 178 specialists and special duty officers. Nancy Okware, Easy Friday.
Now, on tonight's My Culture segment, it is a ceremony highly regarded in the Kikuyu community as a stamp of authority that a couple is traditionally duly married with no pending bills in terms of dowry. The ceremony is called Ngurario. Jackie Wambiru attended one such event in Gatanga, Murang'a County and filed the following report for My Culture tonight. Take a look.
Gatanga, Murang'a County, a Gurario event is underway. Gurario is the final and most significant ceremony in all important dowry payment process among the Kikuyus. The ceremony is performed by a married couple after the husband has fulfilled all the dowry requirements.
Na huwa inaambatana na sherehe nyingine ambayo tulikuwa hapa, mambo ya kurashia, kuleta mahari, ndio tunasema dowry. Tulikuja tukafanya hivyo. Na mwanzo pia kabisa tulikuwa tumekuja kujitambulisha katika hii nyumba, na ndio tunasemaga inaitwa Jorio. Tulikuja mwanzo tukajulikana, tukakubaliwa kuja hapa, tukakuja tukarashia.
Prior to this event, the husband, accompanied by friends and relatives, pays a visit to the homestead of his father-in-law for a brief on what items to bring before the event. The list will include things such as a young goat, sheep, she-goat, a big sufuria, a basin, a dozen metallic cups, a sword, blanket, 2 pairs of bed sheet for the father, coat, 1 small sufuria with a handle, 10 crates of sodas, 5 crates of beer, lesos, bag of sugar, food and drinks for that day.
Buzi tuleta asubuhi kama kawaida. Hiyo buzi inachijwa ije ya nyumba ya msichana. Tunaichija hapo kusema ya kwamba zile buzi zote tuleta hapa ni za baba ama wazazi ama nyumba ya msichana.
The goat is taken prior to the Gurario event. Elders from the bride's side will receive 5 goats, and if not fat enough, they can reject them or else ask for an extra one for fattening. On the material day, the husband sends representatives to check on how the goats are slaughtered, and since they were 5, 3 of them will be slaughtered, whereas 2 will be kept for the father-in-law to be taking care of them so that he does not get bored, or so it is assumed.
Tulikuja mara kwanza kujua nyumba na kuolia mwiletu. Tukakuja mara ya pili tukaleta rasio, tukaleta mwatena harika ikuwa hai, na tukaleta kwa iboma na tukaleta zile mbuzi za borashia. Sasa tumekuja sherehe. Sasa ile the main event yenye sasa nasema ni kuguralia na kuleka kiade.
Wamekuja kusema mwisho ati hii mshana yenyu hakuna siku atarudi kwenyu, na tumembeba, na mimi wamenipatia mahari na nimepokea vile wamesema.
When the visitors from the groom's side arrive, they will find the gate to the in-laws' homestead locked, and they will start singing the traditional Kikuyu songs for the gate to be opened. Through the songs, they will inform their in-laws that they have arrived and kindly request them to open the gate for them. The women on the other side will respond by saying that they do not have the keys to the gate since their daughter disappeared with the keys when she was stolen by the husband on her way to buy milk at a nearby kiosk. The songs will continue and the wife's side will ask the husband's side to provide the keys, which should be in form of money. After giving the money, the gate is opened and the visitors are ushered in. Once guests are ushered in and officially received, food is then served. After guests have dined, tables are cleared and the ceremony commences. A group of women enter the house where they are veiled with lassos from head to toe. The group is then called outside and the husband is asked to identify his wife amongst the lasso-covered team. When the husband picks the wife, the move is greeted with ululation. The husband then unveils his wife and the couple marches to the high table in rhythm with the ululation from the crowd. Adorned in the Kikuyu traditional regalia, the couple presents itself before the congregation. The shoulder or kiade to be cut is then put in a traditional basin and placed on the table for all to see. It is here where the husband is guided to cut the shoulder, assisted by the wife who will hold it.
Maana yake ya hiyo ni kwamba bwana wakati anapata vitu, wakati anaenda kuwida, wakati anaenda kutafuta mali, akipata mali anabebaga na mgongo hivi, anabeba namna hii na hiyo kiande. Hiyo kiande atakuwa akimtafutia vitu zake na akipata anabeba kwa bega. Wamekula oath, wameahidiana, sisi hatutawachana. Joki amekuwa na bwana, naye bwana amepata bibi. Tena wale sasa watakuwa akisema huyu ni shemeji wangu, ule ni shemeji wangu.
Later on, the husband will also be asked to give the wife a piece of meat from the ears from the slaughtered goat to eat. And while eating, she will ask her to eat them so that she will have ears to hear him whenever he calls. Porridge will then be put in a calabash and then it will be handed over to the wife to feed the husband. From there, other guests will take the porridge, while others take the traditional broom or a tina and celebrate with the couple.
Wakati wa kumwaga pombe chini, wakati wa kumwaga pombe katika kifua, mkono na mkono, inasema tumewabariki na tumekubali waishi kwa amani, waishi na furaha katika ndoa yao.
I give thanks to God for this day. For sure we've waited for long and this is the day that God, everything has come out.
We are very, very happy. And today I thank so many people have come and I feel so happy.
What an interesting segment that is. So I've been speaking to one of my, camera operators in studio, and he's been training me how to say it correctly, the right pronunciation. It's actually Ngurario. I hope I said it right, but yes, moving on. Now, academic credentials and their authenticity has literally dominated conversations both offline and online. On social media platforms like Twitter and Facebook, netizens have had a field day digesting and dissecting the legitimacy of higher education certificates presented to the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission by candidates eyeing various elective posts in the August 9th polls. Nairobi gubernatorial aspirant Johnson Sakaja is among those who found themselves at the center of the academic credentials saga with the hashtag Sakaja Wapi Degree. Trending well, allow Teresa Mutai to tell you more in our weekly segment, Savage Netizens. Take a look.
To what degree are you allowed to govern the people? Well, see what I did there? Let's catch you up on this week's dose of drama.
Johnson Arthur Sakaja produced a bachelor's degree he obtained from a Ugandan university in a quest to put to rest doubts about his academic qualifications. The ensuing drama that has played out in both traditional and social media has given netizens fodder for online banter. Matilda tweeted, Kenya is currently undergoing a period of academic fever. Hashtag Sakaja wapi degree. Naum is deeply concerned about how will she explain to her village people that the very well-dressed Sakaja has no degree while the air quotes poorly dressed Wajakoya has 16 degrees. Hashtag Sakaja wapi degree. A disclaimer. Keep in mind that well-dressed is a relative term. Winfred tweeted with a seemingly heavy heart, Sakaja, kumbe you are a musician and you did not tell us. Your Excellency, pale you were and you decided to focus on music. Almost crying.
You know I love music.
Shadi, the man has got a degree but in Celsius. The Sakaja degree saga aside, the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority chose to cause a disruption in the lives of Mwananchi. EPRA, in a statement to announce an upward review of fuel prices, said, you will now pay an additional of 9 shillings for fuel to the already high fuel prices. Nasi tafadhali. Chai! There is God. That's just but a translation according to the Urban Dictionary. Perhaps to put the news into context, Abiba tweeted an image of a flipped car and captioned it, a car fainted after seeing the price of petrol. Get Vaccinated asked, Mkubwa, bado shida ni Ukraine? To which Robbie answered, ni kama tutaenda kupigana hiyo vita Ukraine.
Wool up, nigga. Wool up.
Another tweet, Gideon, however, is determined to find a new strategy. We're gonna use bicycles now, he wrote. Tito is done. He tweeted, Shukisha hapa.
Well, that's it for us this Friday. Catch you next week on Savage Netizens. For Easy Friday, I am Teresa Mutai.
Kupata mafuta kupanda, kama sikiza tune kwenye simu yako, bonyeza *811 *962#.
Nashukuru serikali kwa kuongeza bei ya mafuta. Sasa niko kwa highway na hakuna traffic hata kidogo. Naomba serikali iendelee hivyo, tubaki tu watu ya gasla na heavy machine peke yake. Pia mimi naomba huyu serikali waseme kama gari yako ni below 3000 cc, gari yako na baki nyumbani, itengeneze nyumba ya kufuga kuku.
Kupata mafuta kupanda, bonyeza *811 *962#. *811 *962#.
Haya.
Wakati unapotunza upendo na utamaduni, ni halisi inakuwa tundo la maisha.
Good evening. Let's take a look at today's business news. My name is Caroline Jenger. Stakeholders have lauded the government's move to amend laws and policies that support the economic empowerment of women. Women Economic Empowerment Hub Director Professor Wanjiko Kabira emphasized the need to fast-track the bottlenecks that have hindered the effective implementation of the Women's Economic Empowerment Strategy 2020-2025 to enhance gender inclusion in socio-economic development.
Women remain largely underrepresented in decision-making processes for decades now.
We can also see that the women in leadership generally, even in the private sector, are many more. And it is not by coincidence. It's because of the steady, if you like, discussion and debate at the national level and at the county level.
The Women Economic Empowerment Hub is banking on the formulation of the national policy on women economic empowerment to correct this. The policy provides a framework to guarantee women access to resources and services by identifying value chains that the women operate in.
This will enable the women to have equal rights to economic resources, as well as access, ownership and control over land and other forms of property, financial services, inheritance, and natural resources in accordance with national laws.
Data from the State Department for Gender shows that the government has disbursed 6.95 billion shillings under the Wezo Fund and 21.3 billion shillings under the Women Enterprise Fund.
We hope that civil society organizations and women collectives will pick up some of these recommendations and advocate for their uptake, and that therefore our country can adopt gendered fiscal reforms. And by extension, resources will be allocated to programs that benefit vulnerable men, women, youth, and people differently enabled.
We believe that the more women that get into the same mainstream, and that is really the theory about the affirmative action, that the more women that get into the mainstream in terms of economic empowerment, the more power they have, to negotiate the space. Even if one person has come up with the idea.
According to Women Economic Empowerment Hub Director, Professor Wanjiko Kabira, gender equality and empowerment will be only achieved if national, regional, and international actors break the existing biases against women and girls that are responsible for creating barriers to the success of women in many spheres of the public life.
Now to some interesting statistics. Over 83% of Kenyan couples have indicated that being in a relationship has had a positive impact on their financial position. The survey done by Pension Administrator and Wealth Financial Services in partnership with Strathmore University revealed that only 12% of Kenyans have an entrenched savings culture, putting aside only 6 to 15% of their monthly income.
Kenya is the largest economy in the region. Despite this, it lags behind in the saving culture, which now stands at 12% compared to its neighbors Uganda at 22% and Tanzania at 36%. The report on saving and investments behavior among Kenyans showed that 60% of the respondents have adequate knowledge to make investment decisions and constantly consume financial knowledge material. The most common saving channels were SACCOs and pension schemes. The report shows that 83% of those who do not save attribute it to recurring expenses and inadequate disposal income, while 84% of the working population regularly sends money to their extended family for daily upkeep such as food, transport, and medical expenses.
Why are people at the point of retirement refusing to retire? So people are changing their dates of birth. Others are, others are asking for extensions. And we've heard of stories of, people who wake up and go to town and, dilly-dally the whole day because they just want to stay at home. So we were asking, why is that so? And we found that only 1 in 7 Kenyans were well prepared for retirement, where members can now start saving. You can plug in and members can start saving for their medical needs in retirement when they're still working.
The report recommended that there was need for the government to enhance tax reliefs, especially to the informal sector, as an incentive to boost the savings culture. In order to increase financial literacy, education institutions have been urged to introduce mandatory financial management courses in the curricula. Reporting for Easy Friday, I am Teresa Mutai.
Key regulators in the construction sector have signed a memorandum of cooperation to regulate the sector effectively, a move they foresee will drastically reduce the incidences of collapsed buildings across the country. While closing the 3-day Engineering Partnership Symposium in Mombasa, Public Works Principal Secretary Solomon Kitungu affirmed that the sector is committed to strengthening its regulatory frameworks by revising amendments that will promote professionalism amongst industry players.
Calls to uphold professionalism at all times were reverberated at the last day of the Engineering Partnership Symposium in Mombasa as the 3 days delegate meet came to a close. Engineering Board of Kenya Chair Erastus Mwongera challenged the engineers to hatch innovative programs that will promote the sector's goods and services both locally and internationally.
Nobody can work in a vacuum. We have said we shall continue with this partnership. The engineers, other professionals like architects, quantity surveyors, environmentalists and sociologists, all those we partner together.
Let's cooperate. Let's remove all these obstacles because we are like a loving stock. It's like brothers and sisters fighting. And the rest of the people there are enjoying whatever else you should be enjoying. Or they are making you very ineffective. But they are very happy because you are fighting.
Mwongera further noted the need for the players to tailor construction projects in an environmental friendly manner as he advocated for the adoption of carbon friendly equipment.
We must do activities that are friendly to our environment, that will reduce the carbon emission, and that so that people can live more healthy lives and all that.
Public Works Principal Secretary Solomon Kitungu lauded the regulators for their timely cooperation in regulating the sector that has witnessed cases of collapsed buildings countrywide. Kitungu also affirmed the government's commitment in implementing past amendments that he believes will strengthen the sector's regulatory framework.
The institutions are rearranged and the functions and the funds for implementing certain functions are placed in one institution. Then we have to support that one so that they can run with that they have been financed to do. And then we do what is best for us. And for us, I think one of the most important aspects is developing and promoting the profession and ensuring that whoever is then involved in this profession is qualified.
Junikari Sambele from Mombasa County.
Last but not least, small businesses owners have now to improve their online business visibility through the use of search engine optimization powered by local expertise. Now, local businesses have had to outsource their services from places like India and Europe. Alan Aoko explores SME online optimization rather.
The 2021 Genesis Analytics survey on small and medium-sized enterprises indicates that of the SMEs that used the social media applications, 84% report that the apps have been important in growing their businesses. 77% say the business is stronger today because of the applications, and 55% believe that the apps helped them to start the business. The survey indicates that an online presence for SMEs is key in lowering barriers to entry, market access, raising brand awareness, connecting with customers, increasing revenues and reducing costs.
Coming up with a very nice website is like coming up with a hotel inside Mount Kenya. Unless you tell people this, I have this hotel here, it's a very nice resort, you can come, swim, have a weekend escape, whatever. Nobody will ever know about it. So it's upon you to go and tell them. So this is where SEO comes, social media management comes. You are able now to tell people, we have this hotel located here. These are the services we offer.
The online move for SMEs became more evident during the COVID-19 pandemic. Web optimization tools such as websites and applications cannot be ignored.
Having a website today is unescapable when you're in business and you want yourself to be known. Mostly when you want new customers, because you might think I'm already known, so I don't need customers. The customers who know you will one day die, or they will migrate to another location.
Even as entrepreneurs decry high cost of those services.
So if you want an e-commerce website, it has different features, different functionalities. So that one and a corporate website whereby you just need a landing page of about us, contact us, they are very different. So those are the things that guides what we charge when it comes to websites.
However, challenges in sourcing talent locally has frustrated the growth of the niche.
You know, in Kenya they say there are no jobs, but when you interact with big companies, CEOs, they are always looking for candidates. So in Kenya there are jobs, but to get the right candidate for those jobs is very hard.
Alanauko, Easy Friday.
Well, that is all we had lined up for you tonight, but you can find more stories on our website at kbc.co.ke. My name is Caroline Jenger. Have a great weekend. See you next week.
Do you have a new story to share with KBC? Get in touch swiftly on email news@kbc.co.ke or call 0723-892-654 or 0734-780-124.
Top sports attractions on KBC Channel 1. In July, Kenya Morans face off against the DRC, Egypt and Senegal in the FIBA Basketball World Cup African qualifiers in Alexandria, Egypt from 1st to 3rd of July 2022. Also in July, Kenya plays South Africa in Rugby League test matches in Nairobi with a return fixture set for October. Still in July, watch the World Athletic Championships from 15th to 24th July live from Oregon, USA, as Kenyan athletes seek glory. Followed by the 22nd Commonwealth Games from 28th July to 8th August, live from Birmingham, England. In August, join our coverage of the World Athletics Under-20 Championships from the 1st to 6th of August 2022 from Cali, Colombia. Then, in November, catch the World Half Marathon Championships on 13th November from Yangzhou, China. Now that's what sets us apart as KBC Channel 1, your true sports partner.
Right, taking a look at your sports news today, the final squad of 18 hockey players that will represent Kenya at the Commonwealth Games has been selected just 6 weeks to the Games set for Birmingham, United Kingdom. 7 non-travelling players have also been included in the team to boost their training.
18 players that form the Kenya national hockey team that will represent the country at the Commonwealth Games have been selected. With the selection done, the technical bench is now focused on fine-tuning the team for the competition. The camp has developed a lot of cohesion in the group of players and also created more training time, which is done in the morning and afternoon.
As per plan, we are happy with what we are doing right now. And then shortly we will want to now test what we have done against some opposition. For now it will be local opposition, and if we will get foreign opposition later in our preparation, would be a very nice piece of development in our training plan.
Despite this being the team's first Commonwealth Games, the ladies are ready to put up a spirited fight.
All round, we've gotten more speed, more character, a better system, and of course, experience-wise, a lot of the young players have gotten experience from the tournament that they played. So coming into this camp now, people have gelled as a team. There is more experience, there is more exposure, there is more teamwork, and there is more character playing hockey as a sport.
Following weeks of training, the players who have understood their assignment are aware of the threat posed by the opponents and hope to capitalize on their weaknesses. For Easy Friday, I am Nora Mwangi.
Now, rally driver Macrae Kimathi says he is targeting to finish this year's WRC Safari Rally, which will be held on the 23rd to 26th of June 2022 in Naivasha. Macrae is among 4 Kenyan drivers who have been selected to join the WRC FIA Star program, which gives them an opportunity to compete on the global stage. The other Kenyan drivers enlisted in the program are Maxine Wahome, Jeremy Wahome and Hamza Anwar.
The 4 drivers are set to participate in this year's Safari Rally scheduled next weekend, hoping to impress at home.
Trying to finish the rally. If I'm able to win my class, that will be a plus. But for me, try to finish the rally, try and win my class, and have a good finish.
25-year-old Maxine Wahome is the latest addition to the program after Jeremy Wahome, Macrae Kimathi and Hamza Anwar joined last year in the FIA program, which seeks to advance careers of upcoming drivers.
Kwa sawa, gari ilikuwa na shida stage ya kwanza, lakini rally ilikuwa mzuri sababu tulichukua stage win yangu ya kwanza na hata ya Rally Star. Kwa Rally Star wote tulichukua stage win, so tunashukuru Mungu, alhamdulillah. Lakini sasa ni ku maintain na kumaliza WRC in first position kwa R3 class inshallah.
We finished well despite not having driven a rally car, but there was just so much happening. So this year just looking to see how much more I can push the car. There's still a lot of room for improvement. Hopefully, the obvious improvement would be to improve on my finishing position, but I think there's so many more ways to measure progress rather than the end results.
Yeah, hopefully I will perform well. That's my goal, to finish the rally and be consistent and make the ladies proud.
The 4 drivers' participation in this year's race got a boost after receiving sponsorship from Kenya Airways and Safaricom. Kenya Airways extended their annual sponsorship of 20 million shillings to 3 years, while Safaricom announced a 25 million shillings as sponsorship. During last year's rally, Jeremy and Anwar finished in 16th and 25th positions respectively, with Macrae retiring at the final stage due to mechanical gremlins. A total of 34 drivers, among them 15 from Kenya, led by the current World Rally Championship circuit leader Khalid Rovanpera, have confirmed participation in this year's race.
Absolutely. All roads will be leading to Naivasha this coming weekend. Now, Kenya is planning to send a strong contingent to the World Athletics Under-20 Championships in Cali, Colombia this August in a bid to defend the global title for the 2nd consecutive time. The championship will be held from 1st to 6th of August.
Kenya will send a strong team to Colombia for the August World Under-20 Championship. The regional trials for the junior team will culminate this Saturday with the Nairobi Championship, before paving way for the national trials set for 2nd July. Kenya will be aiming for a 3rd consecutive title in Cali, Colombia, from 1st to 6th of August, after emerging overall champions in Tampere, Finland in 2018 and successfully defending it last year.
2 months ago, we had the camps around the country, 26 camps, that we put our athletes, the young athletes, to train and prepare for this competition. The idea is the Team Kenya, especially the Committee for Youth from Athletics Kenya, has tried in this place to make sure that we have continuity in our athletics. And in April also, during that preparation for these trials, we send also 11-member team of sprinters to Marimas in Marseille, France, to ensure that they get also advanced training, especially in the sprints.
Meanwhile, only invited athletes who have met all requirements will be allowed to participate in the national trials for both the World Championship and the Commonwealth Games, scheduled for 24th and 25th of this month at Kasarani Stadium.
It's a very tricky matter that the Federation is handling it, and of course by the end of this week the information will come out on how each and every athlete and officials and coaches will approach this event, because we want the Kenyan public to understand the problems that we face and how selection will be done. It is not going to be the usual selection criteria that we put, but it's a combination of several factors that are the rules given by AIU, ADAC, and we cannot which we cannot jump over. We have to follow that.
Buckley Feather for Easy Friday.
Now, Kenya will face Tanzania in the final of the Kwibuka Women's T20 tournament in Kigali, Rwanda tomorrow. Elsewhere, the men's team are in Uganda for the 2022 Uganda Cricket World Cup Challenge League. Take a look.
Match against Germany yesterday to secure second place. Kenya won the toss and elected to bat. The women's team scored 119 runs for the loss of 5 wickets in their allotted 20 overs. Player of the match, Quinta Abel, top scored for Kenya with 24 runs from 24 balls. Vanessa Oko and wicketkeeper Sharon Juma added 20 runs each. Asmita Kohli, Sharanya Sadarangani and Antonia Mayenborg took 1 wicket each for Germany. In reply, the Germans were restricted to 75 runs for the loss of 4 wickets in 20 overs, granting Kenya a 44-run win. Captain Christina Goff top scored for Germany with 47 runs off 51 balls. Quinta Abel and Sarah Bakita took 1 wicket each for Kenya, the others coming through run-outs. The result saw Kenya finished second at the end of the round-robin phase and faced Tanzania in tomorrow's final. Meanwhile, the men's national team are in Uganda for the 2022 Uganda Cricket World Cup Challenge League B. The tournament, which forms part of the qualification pathway to the 2023 Cricket World Cup, has 8 teams. Kenya opened their campaign against Bermuda at the Chambogo Oval tomorrow. For Easy Friday, I am Daniel Wahome.
Now, Golden State Warriors defeated Boston Celtics 103-90 to claim a 4th NBA title in 8 years. The Warriors won in Game 6 in Boston to clinch the series 4-2.
Floats it up and in. Smart has had a couple of...
Having finished 2019-2020 with a dire 15-50 record, Golden State Warriors are the first team to go from the league's worst side to a championship in 2 years. The Celtics led 14-2 after 4 minutes and 22-16 late in the first quarter before the Warriors went on a 21-0 run to go 37-22 up with just over 10 minutes remaining in the first half.
Whips it to Payton. 3-pointer missed it, gets his own rebound, backs up and banks it in.
Stephen Curry was the most valuable player in the regular season. Curry scored 3-pointers in the first 6 minutes of the third quarter, pushing Golden State's leader to 72-50. The 34-year-old point guard averaged 31.2 points in the 6 games and scored 34 points in the win, adding 7 assists and 7 rebounds. Andrew Wiggins scored 18 points and Jordan Poole 15 as Golden State won the NBA championship for the first time in 4 years. They also won the title in 2015, 2017 and 2018, but lost the 2016 and 2019 finals before missing out on the playoffs in the past 2 seasons.
The Dubs dynasty is still very much alive.
All right, and with that, it's time for me to wrap up this particular segment that is the news part of the bulletin and take you to the other side where I've got tonight's guest waiting for me in studio. His name is Kimanzi, content creator. Actually, let me rephrase that. Ace content creator known for his creative concepts. If you haven't followed him on Instagram and Twitter, basically you're missing out on a lot of fun, a lot of creativity, and a lot of out-of-the-box thinking. So we'll talk about his journey in the industry in just a short while. Until then, take care, and of course make sure you join us for that particular segment until 10:30 as well, and after which we've got DJ Coljax as well, so Friday Fever is definitely on.
hizo shanga. Mimi mtoto wa kimanga, njoni kupesteleza kukwa kutaga. Nilieka kichanga, niyatingishe uyaokote majanga. Nishuke kidogo, shike magoti. Nimesharegea nisiyo roboti. Takupelekesha kama remote. Nine mpaka chini niyokote noti. Kama boda boda, boda boda baba, boda boda. Nikina mawewe pana. Kama boda boda, boda boda baba, boda boda. Nisho nipo kama boda boda, boda boda baba, boda boda. Nikina mawewe
Back to Easy Friday. Remember, you can join us on social media. The hashtag is Easy Friday at Shiksha Arora, at KBC Channel 1, and at Kimanzi. So, this guy, there's a lot that I have to say about him. In fact, he just told me that next time when I go to family gatherings, please, can you say nice things? And then I put you on speaker so my family can hear. I promise he's not paid me to talk about him in such a, you know, an amazing manner. But I just have to really big up the guy because of the great things that he's doing in the content creation world. He's a creative. And in fact, I'm going to stop here because you need to go check out his Instagram. He'll give his handle in a short while. But before we get anywhere, Kimanzi,
yes,
are you going to do a transition and jump out and like end up somewhere else?
I've seen that TV there. It looks like a nice place to pop out from.
Yeah,
and this big camera.
There?
Yep.
How are you today?
I'm good.
You look
Yourself?
great.
Thank you.
Apart from being a great content creator, you're also quite a fashionista.
It's in the blood.
Umepiga luku leo.
Wanjapi.
Sawa. So Kimanzi, tell me about yourself. You know, a lot of people know you as this creative guy, but not many people know a lot in the sense where you come from, your background, you know, growing up. Maybe you can just give us a bit of
wow, that's so
info
broad.
and insight into your life from back in the day, from where it all started.
Well, hey, where did it even start? What did start actually? But it's very broad. I mean, that's one of the hardest questions ever. Tell me about yourself.
Okay.
I don't know what to say first because I'm like, hey,
yeah,
where do I start?
Yeah.
Childhood,
Yeah.
high school,
Okay,
primary.
childhood.
Well, for starters, I just, you know, childhood is more of stories you're told.
Yeah.
So most of the
Were
stories.
you a cheeky guy? Were you the backbencher?
You just had to start with a cheeky guy and a backbencher.
Yeah.
So you just completely decided, bang, there it is.
Just by looking at you.
Please, excuse me, I can be a front. Okay, the only time I sit at front is when I'm driving.
Were you an A student?
Well, there is that too. Well, not all the time, but...
But if you wanted to.
I mean, the reports show that I came off as a bright student.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Bright student. So when you went into, you know, let's fast forward to like uni, for instance, what did you study? And is it similar to what you're doing today? Same field?
No, I mean, is there a field for what we are doing?
There actually isn't.
There's
Very
no,
right.
I mean, there's no education for what we are doing.
Yeah, true.
But anyway, anytime I tell people what I studied, those who know me from way back know it, but those who know me off entertainment side, when I tell people I studied law, it always comes out as what?
You studied law?
See, yep.
You were a lawyer?
Yeah. Actually started and for a portion of time actually, kind of practice, not fully, but I went to court, did some.
You finished your degree basically?
Yeah.
You graduated?
You know, the way it's a very... Now everyone has to show they graduated right now. Everyone is posting graduation photos, you know.
We're waiting for yours.
Well, I have enough. At least I took enough.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. So you are a lawyer. And then how did you end up in this creative space?
While I was in campus.
Okay.
Actually, towards the end is when our social media had started, or rather, had just started growing substantially. So when I started doing, back then it was Vines. There was a Vine app here from
yes,
States.
I remember Vines.
But now here it wasn't as common. So guys, we used to make those 15-second clips on Instagram. So like basically remember when we started, well, not as many as today. There was myself, George Kimani, Seth Gore, Kogmak, others left as Noveta. Like, well, that's how we started.
Okay.
You know, not just you. Like, I mean, I can just make some funny videos of things that I feel are relatable. Yeah, just mostly comedy of what is relatable in our space.
Yes.
So it was just that, and then you know, again, Instagram wasn't as big as it is today. So even small things like just 2 people commenting, you're like, you mean 2 people can watch my stuff? You're like, wow,
felt good.
Yeah, because I even remember that time I used to borrow my friend their phone.
And then you'd comment on your own video?
No, to record.
Oh, to record.
I didn't have a phone that could record.
Okay, so you actually borrow your friend's phone?
Yeah, anyone who was like a doper's phone at that time, I'd just borrow it and then helping me just record what I can record. Then at that time now is when I started learning to edit. I just download enough apps. I say, okay, now what can work? Because you see that time we didn't have as many options, so you just use what you have.
Interesting.
So yeah, then that's how it started.
Okay.
Yeah, I was able to do just from time to time, and then remember back then brands weren't even active on socials.
It wasn't, I feel like the influencing game has just changed.
Actually, post-pandemic is when
Exactly, in 2020. But before that, there were just a few influencers, right?
Yeah, true.
It wasn't as saturated, but right now, everyone is an influencer.
I mean, everyone is something.
Yeah.
And if you can make something out of it, well and good.
Not?
Yeah.
Why not?
So, I mean, that back then it was just you doing your own stuff for fun, making people smile at the end of the day.
Just because you wanted to, not because anyone's paying you.
It was just because you feel the intuition to like just try and do something. It's disturbing you, and then you can do it, and then that's how it just started. That's back in 2013, 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So Kimanzi, when did you first go viral? I think I remember watching a video of yours during the pandemic in 2020. It was, I think, different types of dances in a club or something of that sort that went viral on Twitter.
Yeah.
Actually, and I was so intrigued by this persona that I was watching, who is just looking. I was looking at this person who I thought was so interesting. Like, I wanted to know more about you after watching that video. So did you actually catch a lot of brands' attention because of that particular video?
To be fair, I wouldn't know.
Okay.
If it got the attention of many or few, but
I'm sure you got calls after that.
Whoever it got the attention. But now you see, I've been doing those videos for a considerable amount of time. So for me, it's not like I'm just doing something for the first time and being overwhelmed with any call or whatnot. So it's just being able to do, because even that was for a brand.
Yes.
So at least mine is just to do what I've been assigned to do, and if I can do it to the best of my ability. Yeah, for me, it's always just trying to give it 100%. So for me, it's going viral is not for anything else, but at least I'm happy people are relating to this thing, and also it's giving the brand the required coverage and awareness. So just slowly by slowly, so those many different ways just to do anything. So even when I get something else, I just I forget it's what I did and now focus on something new. Yeah, to try and now do something totally that is very relatable to whatever I'm working on.
Interesting. Take us through the entire process of creating a piece of content, because I feel like people don't understand how much time, effort goes into just coming up with a 45-second video.
True. I mean, it's the process it's different depending on whatever concepts you come up with. Some concepts.
You come up with your own concepts?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. So for me, they just coming up. You just get a spark. Sometimes you can just get one spark, then you're able to build around it.
Okay.
So you're able now to create a process, like you say, like the same way we were taught in school. There's an intro, there's a body, there's a conclusion.
Yes.
And now in between now is where you know where to put the nitty-gritties.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just the same format. You know how, if whatever spark I get, the idea I get is maybe in between our conclusion. So it's building around what I've thought about. So it's just going with the different steps and now creating. And then you see all types of content creation is more like a storytelling, or rather any type of art, be it music, be it a movie. It's basically storytelling. And if you can tell a story at the from start to end, and at least someone gets it, you've basically hit the jackpot.
Yeah, your job is well done. Kimanzi, so in terms of like planning, research, putting together all these elements and coming up with a team to film you, and I'm sure you do everything yourself, right? So if you were to create a video for a particular brand right now, how long would it take you to actually implement all these things, put together everything and finally shoot?
Again, I mean, some can come, you can get the ideas and the concept within 2 days, 3 days, but some can take a week, 2 weeks, because you see, it depends with what you want to achieve. So if you're trying to shoot many different, there are some I've ever shot for over a week.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just 45 to 50 seconds, but putting the many different elements together requires different sceneries, so many different things, where you're able now to see, okay, this can work for this can't, so scrap that, do something new. And if, like you see, I like doing things to the latter, so even if it means getting different, be it an outfit, be it props, and then most of these things, and we don't have them as open as I would like to, so most of the things are,
you have to outsource.
You outsource from, I don't know, many different places.
Okay, interesting. Kimanzi, I've been speaking about your content, and I have to say that you are somebody who also has inspired me in my content creation journey. Nice. And when I watch your content, I'm just like, man, I could have done this, but how can I do it in a better way, right? So that competition is very healthy.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, when we look at the content creation scene right now in Kenya, we've got some extremely talented people, people who are so unique and so creative with their ideas and the things that they come up with for different brands. And who are some of the people who, you think have really got such a bright future in terms of content creation? And in terms of your journey in content, where do you hope to see yourself next?
Where do I start? The favorite or my
favorite first, because I hope my name will be mentioned.
It doesn't have to be under duress. I mean, I wouldn't say I have a favorite. I just appreciate what so many people are doing.
Okay.
And everyone is doing something different. There's a way Shiksha you do things I wouldn't do. And maybe there's a way I do that you do. Everyone has their element.
Okay.
So for me, I wouldn't say it's a favorite. I just first respect everyone doing their own craft. And I feel as well inspired, and even if it's not even inspiration, I'm so happy that people are able to bring out so many different things in their own unique way. You see, the first thing is to have what you know to do best, your foundation.
Yes.
Then maybe you can now build on it so that you don't have to go so far off your character. Because I mean, these things, the best way to do any type of work is if you love it. And if you love what you're doing, it's easy, it comes freely.
Yeah.
Sometimes
it doesn't seem like work when you love what you're doing, when you enjoy it.
People just assume this is just something so simple.
Exactly.
But you see, there's also the art of making it seem like you just entered, within 45 seconds you're out. Because you see, you're able to make it also seem so simple because of how you're able now to do your own craft. So when I'm going to look at different people, you're one of them. You are really amazing. Since you've been talking about me, that's my time now to go on.
Thank you. I did not pay him to say that, just by the way.
But yeah, you really do awesome things.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so I mean, all the different brands you've worked on, even for yourself, have been, yesterday you just decided to throw us 2 bombshells. One yesterday, one today. You're like, okay. Yeah, you see that beauty of making even destinations, making products look as fun as they should be.
Yes.
And also at the same time, you're able now to pass a message. Like you see, if I see your travel reels, I'm like, okay, Lamu looks nice. These are the things to look out for. It gives me a feeling. You see, if someone it can evoke emotions differently.
I like that.
Happiness.
If it can evoke emotions, you've done a good job.
Yeah, whatever it is, so you're able to see, okay, people like this thing because it shows Lamu in a different way. People like this product because it shows it in a different light. And you're able again to pass a message to show the relation between one product and the outcome.
I like that. Interesting. That's an interesting perspective. And, what about your content creation journey now? What's the next plan for Kimanzi? What next?
Let me ask you.
Ask me.
When you were 5 years ago, when you're told, where do you see yourself 5 years? let's say 5 years from 2017, if
Yeah.
someone asked you, where would you say you'd be?
I thought I'd be in a lab somewhere as a scientist. Because that's what I wanted to do then.
Exactly.
Right? And then you keep changing, you keep evolving.
Yeah, that's why I find it
Hard to answer that question.
it's because people always see the best out of when you tell someone where do you want to be in 5 years, people see where they'd want to be with what they're currently doing. So if I answer it today, I mean content creation, yes, and a lot of maybe advertising, consultancy,
Yes.
basically marketing
Yes.
and whatnot. So I'll see myself within the same scope, but at a higher level. Maybe now we are working with brands locally, so I'm looking at it maybe 5 years from now.
International brands.
I'd be in international brands.
Fair.
But then 5 years come, you find me doing something
Completely different.
something that serves the purpose
Yes.
in 2027.
Yes.
2027. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I like that. Kimanzi, tell me a bit about, the things that you do aside from content creation. I know there's a lot that you do. There's an entire list. I remember there was one day we were having a conversation and you just said, yeah, I write copy for you're a script writer for ads. You're a creative director for an agency or something. There's a lot that you do. How do you manage everything, first of all? And take me through all the 50 million things that you do.
Not 50 million, just a few.
Okay, 5, 6.
Yeah. Well, there's that. I've done copywriting, so I also do copywriting for ad marketing, for brands, script writing, TV writing, for their commercials. I also do songwriting sometimes.
Songwriting?
Sometimes.
That's very interesting. I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah, I also do consultancy for marketing for brands. Yeah, just different types of marketing techniques and also digital strategies. Yeah, those are what I can think off the top of my head currently.
And you also love to model and wear very cool clothes, which we see.
Is it really modeling or is just me just dressing how I know?
You're quite the fashionista.
Thank you.
How did your love for fashion, develop? When did that happen? Were you always those kids who were pigang luku from like back in the day? Cool kids?
Sometimes.
No,
it's not about being cool or what. It's just that you have a mother who likes just to dress you up.
Okay.
You don't know how. You see, you're only as good as what you've been dressed in. So you don't know if the parents decide to put you in whatever outfit. You just walk out and...
That's so true.
You don't know whether you are...
But interestingly enough, there's some children who, from a very young age, like have known to pick out their own clothes. And they want to pick it up because that's what they're interested in.
I mean...
And they have a passion for it.
It's whatever you feel comfortable in, first of all.
Yes.
So,
for those of us who are not dressed by our moms, well, I was, just like you.
I mean, when we are 3 years old,
how can you pick out your own clothes? But as you grow up, as the teenager, you have your own identity, and then you express yourself through the things you wear. So were you ever into that?
I just, even when I look at it from way back, dress.
Yeah.
You remember now there was no social media, there's no nothing.
Of course.
So I'm just dressing up, even if it's just casually to meet friends or just be with different people in whatever way. You just dress. You get to a destination or a place with people, everyone is complimenting. No, you look really nice. I like your outfit. I like this. I like this. You're like, what? I just looked dressed in what I could think of quickly, and then you go out. Then now you see the kid coming up, then you're like, I really know this. Really know this. You're like, oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah, so you just decide to, if it's something that really works. Actually, I didn't even really think much into it until maybe later, properly, where now I would I can, because remember, there's a way I wanted to, if I'm posting, I went for I think 2 years, 3 years without posting anything on Instagram.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really? When was that?
I think 2015, 16.
What happened? Why did you stop posting?
First, when I had left the country.
Okay.
And so I wasn't able to do this. That time I was doing vines locally and then being helped by friends, remember, with phones.
Yeah.
And those different editing. So now when you're alone, you're like, oh well, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah, you're just there stuck in by yourself and you're like, I'll just think of ideas and be like, they'll just be scrapped and life goes on.
Yeah.
Yeah, then after that, now you see when we came back, you're not really, when you disappear from something for some time, you never just jump back in.
You have to plan your comeback.
Not even planning a comeback. You see, you're shelved in because you're like, maybe things have changed now. How we used to do.
It's not the same.
It's not the same
as what people are doing now.
So you're able to know, like, maybe it's not for me again. It's just like.
So you're doubting yourself then?
You're there, like.
Yeah.
But then also I wanted to, like, visually, for me, I really wanted quality production. Like, just.
I like that.
You just want something that is pure quality. But then again, you don't have the finances, and you also don't have a way to make it quality. So like, until the day one thing can happen, I guess we'll just wait. And then, slowly by slowly, you just start. You see, like, anytime you have a vision, you just need 1 or 2 people to support you in your journey, and you're able now to be yourself, and you're able to express.
Yes.
Like, you see, all these ideas you come up with, they're half as good until you find someone to work with. Yeah, they are part of your journey in whatever way you do it. So the team you work with, you might work with them, and if you don't, if you're left to be, no man is an island again. So if you're left to work on your own, will it be as good as when you work with someone?
Okay.
Yeah,
nice.
so, and those people you work with are people who share your vision and are able to hold your hand and walk through with you.
Okay. Kimanzi, as we wrap up, maybe you can tell me, who is Kimanzi's biggest fan?
Biggest fan?
Yeah. Is it your mom? Is it someone in your family? Is it a supporter?
I mean, I'd say, of course, family first.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom has always supported all of us in whatever you're doing.
Yes.
She's always been there helping, and just, even if she doesn't know what you're doing, like when I show her like some things, maybe if she asks, what are you up to nowadays? I'm like, she doesn't really understand it, but she's
I was actually just going to ask you, but like, do they understand? Because sometimes I show my mom something and she's like, what's going on? What is this?
Well, now you said,
how are you disappearing?
Your mom is there with you. You've even made
of
videos
course,
with her
together. But sometimes they don't understand.
But they support.
They support. Oh, like,
100%. It does you right. Then it makes you happy. It puts food on your table. Then we'll be there for you.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, family, also friends. Friends have been.
Kimanzi, are you dating?
Why would you ask that now, randomly, when I'm answering a different question?
As we're wrapping up, see, because I want to know.
This is an attack.
Kimanzi, you do great things. You're very creative. Are you sure there's not a woman behind you who inspires you to do all these things?
Let me ask you. I find that question, first of all, I'm changing the. If you had a female here, you'll never ask her if they're dating.
Of course, I always do.
You ask them. Most times, I always see. It's always the man being bombarded with this question.
Doesn't matter if you're male or female. I will ask you.
If you're dating.
Are you dating?
I wouldn't say I am.
You wouldn't say. You wouldn't say you are. So it depends who's asking.
Again, I wouldn't put it that way.
That's fine. All right, fine. It's okay. We'll talk about this off air. As we wrap up, maybe there's a message that you want to give your fans or people who get inspired by your content and will actually want to get into content creation but just don't know where to start. What would you tell them?
I mean, at least in this time I've been able to be in this space, I've had so many people even come up to me or even DMs or calls or just different ways to. One, how can people enter this space? What do they need? Do they need to be really good? And how? I'll tell people, you see, the same way I told you how I started, without even a phone. I just had a vision and a dream, but I was like, I don't mean because I don't have a phone, let me not do it. So, one, I always tell people, whatever you want to do, start with whatever you have. At least nowadays, with time now, we all have at least their phones that can do their work. It doesn't have to be the best.
Yes.
It just has to have a camera.
Yeah.
You see, it's simple as that.
Yeah.
So if you're able to do with whatever you can, and a lot of people compare themselves to others. I always say comparison again.
Stop comparing yourself to others.
Everyone is unique in their own way. So whatever you can do, and first, be your biggest fan.
I like that.
So if you're able to just be your biggest fan, you won't so many people with imposter syndromes. People should I post this? Should I not? What will people say? What will people do? Do what you want. Do what you feel is right for you first, and you'll be able now to, like I'm saying, you do it. If there's someone out there who's your fan or just sees something, this makes me happy. You see, you start now gaining
confidence,
and then you're able now to also do more. You never know what you can do. Until now, you start it like whatever you're doing today.
Yeah. You never know what you can do until you start.
Yeah.
I'm going to post that on my Instagram right now as a quote, and I'll give you credits for it though.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's okay.
Thank you so much for coming, Kimanzi. It's been an absolute pleasure having you right here on Easy Friday. We'll definitely do this again next time, same place, same time. Make sure you tune in. We'll have another guest next week. And yes, we will keep bringing interesting guests and, you know, people who are inspiring in their own ways. So yes, thank you so much for watching once again. Shiksha Arora signing out. Kojak's up next with Disco Funk.